Welcome back to Primetime News Friday. Special welcome to the folks watching on OneSpotMedia.com. Up first this evening, an investigation is underway into the pepper spraying of a retired senior policeman by a constable during a traffic stop on Malines Road in St. Andrew on Wednesday. Now, the retired cop, Altamore Paro Campbell, was pepper sprayed in the eyes after he disobeyed a constable's order to exit his vehicle to be arrested. The exchange between the former deputy superintendent and the constable was captured on cell phone video. TVJ's Anthony Lugg reports.
The retired cop, Altamore Paro Campbell, struggles to open his eyes after being pepper sprayed when he disobeyed a constable's directive to exit his vehicle to be arrested. But how did the situation get here? Speaking on RJR's hotline with Emily Shields, Mr. Campbell said while traveling along Malines Road, he overtook a stationary vehicle and another vehicle whose driver was turning left. Shortly after, he said police officers in a marked vehicle drove up and requested that he pull over.
Wind down the window. Officer, what have I done? Or something like that. That's what I generally said to them when they stopped me. And he said to me, I overtook several vehicles down the road. I said, no, officer, not several. If you were behind me, you would have seen that it was a stationary vehicle, but I don't know what is wrong. There's a woman on her phone. That's what I heard. A woman on the phone. I don't know what she's doing, but every time that she wants to merge with the traffic, she's on her phone. So the other vehicle was turning left. Him said me should have waited till the vehicle turned.
The matter escalated when he was unable to present his driver's license.
I said to him that I don't have a driver's license. I realized I didn't have it like earlier when I was picking up my son. I drove another vehicle, leave me billfold with driver's license and other things in it. So I said to him I didn't have my driver's license on me. So he said to me that he's going to arrest me.
Which then led to this.
Tell me so you don't arrest me if you can't have my driver's license.
Step from the vehicle.
Officer?
This is a final warning I get this.
No, this is not a warning. Don't tell me that you're going to warn. It's a tear gas me, you know.
Step from the vehicle.
No, it's a tear gas me. Don't if you tear gas me.
Step from the vehicle, sir.
You're going to tear gas me.
Step from the vehicle, sir. Step from the vehicle. Step from the vehicle.
What are you doing to my phone, bro?
But it didn't stop there. Even as Mr. Campbell attempted to wind up his window, the policeman used the pepper spray again. He locked the door and began to apply a wet rag to his face, but that brought little comfort. He added that he was fearful for his life and that of his son during the incident. He shared what was going through his mind.
I have my gun in my waist. My fear was probably, this is a mad policeman. So he might pull the door, if he pull me out or something, feel the gun, and there, anything could happen if he feel that gun.
A senior police officer eventually arrived on the scene and diffused the situation. Inspector General of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Deputy Commissioner Selvin Hay, confirmed with our news center that the Inspectorate of Constabulary is conducting the probe. Up to late this evening, the retired cop was giving a statement to the IOC. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Up first this evening, the health sector is again in the spotlight as there are complaints of a rat infestation at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. Rats walking in the ward freely by day as patients shudder in their beds. One patient recounting her ordeal after spending several days at the facility. TVJ's Herman Green reports.
Rats, arguably the largest some have seen, seemingly ramping on the ward at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. These pictures were sent to TVJ News by a woman who was a patient on Ward 3. She did not want to be identified, but she was one of several terrified females at the facility. She said for the few days she was there, she cringed as she had to endure seeing 3 to 4 rats roaming the ward during the day. But it gets worse.
In the night, you have like more different beds. Sometimes they crawl up on the bed and go on the iron part of the bed, and then, you know, they came back down, and sometimes some of them run up on some person's bag, and you have patients screaming.
Screaming, naturally, as in addition to the discomfort, they feared all the health issues that could arise by sharing bed with rats. But for this patient, things got even worse, as her fear was realized one night while she slept.
One of them bit my finger, right? So after being awakened a bit, I I went to the nurse and told the nurse that a rat bit me. And she said, if it's not caught, then she cannot do anything about it. So, well, I went back to bed and there, anyway, looking out for more rats till I fall asleep.
This patient, like the others on the ward, is upset as she says anything can go wrong with their health under these conditions. One patient was so terrified that her blood pressure went up and she had to be removed from the ward. Rat droppings are also a common sight on the ward, although she expressed satisfaction that the workers clean up regularly. Speaking of the workers, she says while patients can look to leaving the hospital, sadly, the workers have been forced to work with the rats.
Some of them saw the rats and they were like, oh my God. And they were, nothing. I think they get used to it.
TVJ News contacted CEO of the Spanish Town Hospital, Dwayne Francis, who says the rat infestation report was brought to his attention on Wednesday and it's now being investigated. However, he says corrective measures have been implemented, including setting dozens of bait stations and putting an extermination team in place. He says while the issue seems to be confined to Ward 3, there is no plan to relocate patients until the findings of the investigation are seen. Herman Green, TVJ News.
Amid the ongoing debate about delays in declaring and passing legislation for the protection of the cockpit country, Prime Minister Andrew Holness toured sections of the area Wednesday morning. Environmentalists and other groups have questioned the delay, raising concerns about mining and other activities that are threatening the area. While the debate with successive governments has been ongoing for over 20 years, Mr. Holness says progress is being made. He notes that there are varying boundaries for the cockpit country based on different elements.
The geomorphology, that is the nature of the land, the formations. We looked at the ecology, that is the flora and fauna and life that it supports. And we looked at the hydrology, the water assets, and all the features that allow for the collection and storage of water. I still think, even though I'm monitoring what is being said in the press and hearing conversations, I think I'm still of the view that there is substantial agreement with the boundary established. I announced that boundary in Parliament.
Now, Mr. Holness says while not all stakeholders agree on that boundary, the government has to make a decision to move ahead.
We have settled on. Let's protect it. And I think that is a message that I'm sending to Jamaica and responding to the concerns about why is it taking so long to identify and protect the area. Now, once that is done, we will be coming to Parliament with the necessary legislation to declare and protect the area as appropriate, both from commercial disturbances, industrial.
Now, the cockpit country is approximately 76,000 hectares.
We begin this evening with a primetime news special report. Long queues and even longer waiting times. That is what people seeking medical attention at the comprehensive clinic on Slipen Road in St. Andrew have had to endure for years. Those who frequent the medical facility are now speaking out. TVJ's Kirk Wright has their story.
People flock the comprehensive clinic on Slipen Road in St. Andrew each weekday for medical attention.
The clinic is a very helpful thing.
The clinic opens at 8 in the morning, but in order to beat the rush, people turn up from as early as 5 a.m. For many, the wait can be grueling. And unlike the United States Embassy in Ligonier, St. Andrew, where shelter is provided for persons waiting, people at the comprehensive clinic just have to find creative ways to shield from the sun or rain. With no seating provided, the elderly is forced to sit just about anywhere they can to rest their weary legs.
Right now my foot hurting me. I'm a sick person. I don't well at all. And I have to stand up until 8 o'clock. when the place open before I can go in. And when me go in, me not get too early.
And it's hard for those who don't have the use of both legs. And pregnant women, they too get no preferential treatment. A vendor nearby occasionally assists the elderly with seating on a single chair. Today, it was shared by 2 women. For another elderly woman, Miss Carter, the sun was too much.
My knee hurting me, and I fall down in my house, and right here now, my side underneath here hurting me.
Mm-hmm. How long you been here now? For about how long you been here now?
If all these people standing out here come here because of some health situation, that mean them not arty as we Jamaican would say. What is the benefit of having us stand in the middle road? I've been here since about 5:30 this morning. Till now. And there are senior citizens, there are people that are amputees. There's a very health situation here. What sense it makes for have people stand up in a side bus and the vehicle in the middle road? Something needs to be done. Something wrong with that picture there.
80-year-old Perline McLean, who says she has been at the clinic from 5 a.m., was about to urinate at the gate 5 minutes before opening time.
I can't make it come now, I've let it down.
Let it go then, Mama.
Now the security guards are working from strict instructions. They have been told that nobody should be inside before 8 o'clock. And even after that, they have to conduct detailed search to make sure that persons don't take with them inside offensive weapons like knives, umbrellas, and so on. It is hoped doing so will prevent a recurrence of a similar situation where a man seeking medical attention at the Maxfield Park Health Center just a stone's throw away was killed just weeks ago. But Denise, who often attends the clinic, says the people waiting are also exposed to dangers.
It's a girl in the area when I know a shot can fire and people are get shot stand up waiting for going to the clinic. That's why we need the clinic for open and we need seat inside as I can go inside and sit down.
We understand that safety is a big part of the reason why people are not allowed on the compound before opening hours.
You advertise security. You have to advertise security. That is directly fooling it. Because if you advertise security, nobody is supposed to can go in there and do that because security tight.
We reached out to the administrators of the comprehensive clinic, but they did not respond to our request for comment on the issue. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
The Agriculture Minister is turning his attention to an unexpected source to increase Jamaica's presence on the export market. During a tour of the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center on Tuesday, he commended the inmates and facilitators for their work on several agricultural produce and products he promised to help them tap into locally and overseas. TVJ's Krista Campbell reports.
We have too many tourists coming in and they're bringing the food with them, when we can produce the food here.
Here being the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center. After touring the facility on Tuesday, Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw says he was so impressed by the work of inmates and their facilitators in growing crops and making several products that he wants to help them find markets. Products he says he's never seen anywhere else: cashew beer, potato ketchup, and tamarind syrup, to name a few. Locally, the minister wants to target hotels and supermarkets, but he stressed that it's the global scene that holds the most opportunities.
The Caribbean common market, 15 countries are out there can buy from us. The diaspora, mostly Canada, England, the United States, right? Third country markets that are looking for exotic things, like the beer. What beer did I try a while ago?
Star fruit beer.
The star fruit beer.
He encouraged the prison authorities to get approval from the Bureau of Standards and get the Scientific Research Council involved as part of efforts to prepare them to get into exports. Meanwhile, he touted the project as a great opportunity to help rehabilitate inmates after they are released. The United Nations Development Program in Jamaica provided over $200,000 in funding to the Jamaica 4-H clubs for the project, which has also been launched in at least 4 juvenile correctional facilities.
We have provided a lot of training, capacity development. We have provided water conservation equipment, water storage facilities, and of course we have provided the drip irrigation facilities that you're seeing here.
He says it's part of the Japan Climate Change Initiative in the region. Senior Superintendent Herbert McFarlane, who's in charge of the prison, says the facility is now self-sufficient in vegetables, which are used to supplement the inmates' diet. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.